No decisions were made, man. All right, Chief Letter, you're ready. Get up here in the hot seat.
Which one's the hot seat?
The
You're
middle
in
one.
it. The one that has a whoopee cushion.
You gotta look at me, I'm ugly.
Yeah. I look at the table a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.
If you want, we can get a copy for Rodney.
There's one here.
Okay.
Okay, just lay it on his, and I'll make sure he gets whatever information.
I just had a question on budget and sort of
Okay.
this is what I turned in, and that's what you told me to approve.
Okay. I believe so.
Okay.
I don't know if we got one here. I'll sure try to look. Okay.
I guess, of course, I'm new to the budget thing. This is the first one I ever turned in. One, I didn't think about Bird City when I turned it in. I figured they'd turn in their budget, and they don't. I guess that I noticed I have nothing in capital outlay, and that's where I assumed some of that maybe the grant funding would go. But I don't really know where the grant funding is at. It's not showing in this budget at all.
I don't know if we could put grant money in capital outlay, can you?
I'm not sure on that.
Well, and see, that's just how I wrote it.
Yeah.
I didn't think so either.
So I just wrote it as grant projects.
If it's a true grant, Dolores and I were talking about the other day, if it's a true grant, and the county's portion should come out of grants and not your budget, but you still, the Board of Commissions still needs to be aware that they need to allocate that money to pay for the county portion.
Oh, that's really.
Yeah. So I guess, like I said, being new at grants, I didn't put nothing in capital outlay in that case. This was just wrote, it wasn't particular to that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Because I think I talked to you and Deb both when I turned this in and said, I don't know what I'm doing here, so. bear with me,
Right,
you know.
right.
And you said as long as it gets in there, we can move it around. Well, according to this, it didn't get in the budget that I can see, that 23.5
Mm-hmm.
didn't get in the budget, it's somewhere else, I hope.
Yeah, it isn't in his budget.
It's an oversight.
There's the budget. So this is his commodities and contractual, and he has it transferred to equipment reserve, but he doesn't have any capital outlay.
On that budget, is that got Fund 39 on there too, or is that?
It should. That's Fund 14. Fund 39 would be your special
Be that special fire.
fire. And you know what, I was going to, I can run a report and see what's in that special fire fund.
Okay.
And, but here again, if you're spending grant money, we would have to move it, probably. If that's what you allocated it for, we would have to move it. So you've purchased something, or you're getting ready to
Out of
purchase?
Fund 39, we purchased some radios, which I couldn't talk to these yet about.
Okay,
And that's what this email page is from. This is the check number and everything for that grant money we got back, but I don't know where it got put. This is what I asked you about the other
Okay,
day.
uh-huh.
You should have it.
is that, 25, it's in the back.
Like 25, and I don't see it here. I wonder, you got it projected there.
But I'm trying to be
That's
greedy
for
here.
buildings.
But you gotta take care of business.
86,000, not much to run two departments on.
Well, and I think that's something that we need to be aware of, that the Bird City Fire Department didn't turn in any budget. So what's coming, what they turn in is coming out of his budget.
But both fire chiefs have the spending authority.
Mm-hmm.
That presents a problem.
That
Out
presents
of
a
one
big
budget,
problem.
both fire chiefs have a spending authority.
I believe I would discuss that with him.
And I'd like to get this separated out.
I mean, if you can't put in a budget, why the hell should you be able to spend money out of it? Or that's my thought. I mean, I'm sure he was aware it was budget time, wasn't he?
I guess it's right here.
Would assume,
I see him on Tuesday.
Mhm.
Hell, maybe next year we want to have this for.
if we could separate it, like I said.
We're gonna dig into this one a little bit. Get you an
That's
answer.
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I just wanted to make somebody aware of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Get that figured out. I don't have the answer to this one.
Okay,
Looking
no, that's
bigger.
fine, that's fine. The next thing we had there's a guy that, from Aurora Fire Department, that
Mhm.
bought a house here in town, but he used for summer house. Him, along with the Sure Sales, donated 6 air packs to St. Francis / Shannon County Fire. So our fire department. My problem is, the bottles that came with it are the only ones that'll fit it, so I need to purchase preferably 6 of them if we can.
What does it cost on six bottles?
The can code thing is, I guesstimated on the freight and labor along with the salesman, so it'd be like 1944 split between the city and the county. The city's already agreed to their half, if you guys agree to yours. We can't do one. It's actually $38.88 for 6 of them, and then that's $300 freight and labor. But I'll do it.
Oh, there it is, sorry. So what's our cut on that?
Should be 1944.
1944. So half of 38.88.
Yeah, this year.
Okay. All right.
And that is freight don't go any higher. The other 2 quotes are quotes that I got, but they're way higher on price.
Okay. Like the, what is an air pack unit, I'm sorry? Is it?
That's what you put on to go in the building.
Your air
Yeah,
tank.
where you-
Okay.
I have to have some courage. On the air back.
I mean, it's pretty generous.
That is.
Because it is, they're about $1,500 used a piece.
Wow.
So,
And you've got that in your budget to do something like that?
do we have that in again? I think we do.
I think so. I don't think you've spent a whole lot out of your budget at this point, so I'm sure there is. Yeah.
All right, I don't have a problem with that, do you? Okay, we'll need a motion, or a vote, a motion on that.
I move with you,
We match the cities,
we matched the city's portion for
1944.
1944.
Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, also sometimes, I guess if it creates more, let us know.
Okay.
And as far as your grant transfer, you know, it's good with the budgets as I'd like to be. We're gonna come off to, with
Do some looking. I'll run a report on Fund 39 and see what's in there and see if it's 2350, where that money was put.
This 2975, 06.
This is 23,500.
Oh, that, yeah, that's for social media.
Oh,
This is for the fund, this is what's not Fund 39. You should have that too. We took that out last year by the radios. That's
Oh,
the
last
half we
year.
got back.
last year, okay.
I just-
Okay.
And when they asked about it, you didn't know if it was here or not, well, they say it's here, we just need to know where
Where it's at. And the treasurer's office would receive it in. They should be able to tell us where it went.
Okay. As far as the other stuff here, this TRI thing. Last year, we had a state man come in, told me we're supposed to be testing our air compressor quarterly for our air packs. We hadn't been testing it all in the past, nobody knew this. So last year I got one of their kids that tested it. But their kid is $45 shipping just to get it here and back. 3.5 years we'll pay for it at this $934. So, and I should be under 5 with the split between the city and the county. That's what you gotta be aware of. If you do want to make a motion on it, you can.
That 934 would be split.
934 would be split. And then every year after that, to refill it, it's the 489, which will be split between.
okay. Well, I don't think we actually need a motion under 500.
I just want you guys to know about it.
All right.
And the same thing with this service, this is for service agreement for our air compressor. It'll be under 500 as well. We should do about that.
Once it's split.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's the total, and it'll be split between the two.
Okay. Okay.
Other than that, we may eventually have to do something with our air compressor to be able to pump these bottles up. Because we only fill them part way. We're not good for 4,500 pounds right now. We only do 22/16s. So that'll find out more later. Because that's pretty pricey. We're $850,000. We can use them with our full of it. And the only other thing I have, give you guys a heads up on in November, Goodman's putting on a firefighter one training. And so if anybody wants to do it, I would prefer we can find the money for it. It's $200 per week. But I think it's going to be required before long. I think somebody on our department's going to have it.
It's close.
And I think I'm going to take it if we can. So it's,
Keep us apprised of how many you're gonna want. It's one, that way we can.
well, it'll be 100 apiece because I talked to the city.
Oh, okay, so then, yeah, let us know. We've got a time before that, but
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
But it's 2 nights a month, I believe, for 3 months.
So it basically goes through
It's a
January.
pretty big commitment. But I know if you guys do want to take it, so.
Now, is it 100, 200 per
It's
person
200
for the whole
the
time?
testing and the votes.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay. We'll do some checking on that for you.
Okay.
If you need something else, let us know.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Morning.
How are you guys today?
Better.
Good.
Good. Good. Too much sickness going around.
Oh, boy.
Seem to starting to pile for me. So just a couple quick travel notes. On March 23rd and 4th, I need to travel to Colby for a 2-day training class. I won't be spending the night. It'll just be mileage back and forth and meals. And that's for emergency management training. And then I attended the CDT, the Centralized Transportation District Region 8 meeting last week about the transportation grant. And we should hear by the end of this week if that's going to be approved. I did see a spreadsheet where we were prioritized with a 1, so I would say that looks optimistic. Nothing is ever final till you get the acceptance letter. But if we do get that, there is a vehicle order meeting on March 28th at Topeka that I would need to attend. It's under $500. I will stay with my family down in Kansas City to save a hotel expense, so the mileage and the meals should be under $500, and that was budgeted in my grant budget.
Okay.
So, and just a reminder that the 8-passenger van with a safety lift was about $50,000. They will cover 80% of that, and we have approvals from both the City Council and the Board of Commission to help share that cost of that 20%. The vehicle operating expense of $32,000 is a 50-50 grant. So again, we'll share some of that cost with the City of St. Francis. Project administration is about $7,300 and it's 80% funded. Again, we'll have a split. And the Bird City's contribution will be that they will house the vehicle because it has to be in a secure location. So the Bird City Century 2 Foundation has agreed to use a building that they have over there as their match. So, any questions about travel? Good.
Thank you.
An update on the community block grant for the ambulance. At the last meeting, we talked about $1,492.80 that was short in the equipment reserves. And we did some checking, and that amount is what the craft grant was for, the match for the craft grant last year, which was the Stryker lift, power lifts. And at the April 16th commissioners meeting, the commissioners said that that match was to be paid out of equipment reserve. So that's where that money went. So that wasn't caught during budget time, that money was already used back in April. So Reed did say that he has extra money in commodities that he's happy to move over. So I don't know if Mr. Radcliffe moved funds from commodities.
We wouldn't have to move it over if where the commissioners are not moving the equipment reserve transfer. It's kind of like the sheriff's vehicle. We went ahead and just paid it out of the sheriff's vehicle or the sheriff's department budget. So the same way with the ambulance, where we're short that $1,400 or $1,500, we would just take it out of the ambulance budget, and then at the end of the year when the transfers have made, they've already spent their money, so there is no transfer to be made.
Okay.
It's kind of a wash.
So it won't be a big deal.
And as far as line items in an individual department's budget, we don't have to do that as long as the overall budget is not over
Okay.
their total number. We're okay.
Okay, very
on
good.
that. So
So I don't know, do you want to execute those documents today, or? She
That's what I
attended the
forgot.
February 24th meeting over
that's the
in
grant that I
Hutchinson.
brought back from Hutch. There's 2 copies there. Here again, one for us to sign and one for us to send back that wasn't signed 2 weeks ago. Has Reed done any research on ambulances, and does he have a direction that he's going for a quote?
Yeah, he actually did the due diligence while we were creating the grant proposal, because we had to have those specs. So when we get to the bid process, he already has what he wants, and it's actually already in the application package.
Okay.
They will have to bid competitively on those specs that were in the application.
Okay, very good.
So,
Nicole, have you looked at these?
Yes, I looked at those last time.
How'd the meeting go?
for, Deb actually attended.
It was good. There were a lot of people down there. Most people had grants for building type projects. Anderson County had a fire truck. Cheyenne County had an ambulance, and so we didn't have to stay that extra day. That's why we didn't have to stay.
Okay.
But everybody else that had building projects had more in-depth things that they needed to, more paperwork that they needed to be responsible for. So, but yeah, it went very well.
When does our portion need to be paid of this? Is this gonna be?
It'll be when they actually deliver the ambulance, which probably won't be till December or January.
Oh, so there's
So-
no worries.
Yeah, it's at least a 6-month bid process
Okay.
in this, so.
So that-
And Karina knows to drag her feet.
Okay. So we're okay now with
Yes,
that.
we're
Okay.
fine on that.
I really didn't have a problem with that. That was my question on that. So. Do we need a motion for the signage of this?
I think you guys have already approved it at this point, so it's just,
Ed, you okay with it? Sorry.
They're signing it.
It better be if we already approved it.
Well,
Yeah, we've already had to put some more money into 7A for repairs this year, so the other set of injectors went out. So,
it's got to have a 6-figure known for that.
yeah, it does.
Okay.
She gets those.
You miss one meeting, you miss a lot.
All right, and oh, do you have one more copy?
No, I said
Nope,
two.
okay. The next piece is just an update.
Oh, is this without something else? Okay.
We got a letter in the mail yesterday. Oh, do you have any more?
This is just, I need to get with Dolores to set up the
Okay.
electronic vendor now that
All right.
you've signed this.
All right.
Because they ACH the payments in, or the money in, and so this needs to be set up by the county clerk and the county treasurer. Just,
Okay, the second page of your packet there, we got this letter in the mail yesterday. It's basically that the Kansas Department of Emergency Management has accepted our proposed application for 2 safe rooms, one in Bird City and one in St. Francis. So basically what this says is that KDEM will now work with us to create an actual application and they will present it to FEMA. We can't apply directly to FEMA, only the state can do that. So the next step is that we will get the full application packet and have to fill that out. We'll be working with Tom Keller for the assisted living project here. The idea was to include a commons room in the assisted living plan that would be a safe room. And then we need to work with Rod Klepper of Bird City. He was kind of champion an idea, a couple concepts for Bird City. So they will have to flush this out now. One was if they build a assisted living or an independent living facility over there, they would have a common room that would be a safe room. If they can't do the independent living, they had conversations with the clinic, and there's a potential to add a conference room onto the clinic in Bird City. There's enough space outside, and that could serve as the community safe room. So there's a couple ideas, but we will have to get moving forward. The deadline to apply is July 1st. So I think that's all my good news for this week. And just a reminder on the match funds for the safe room. On the very last page, this was the spreadsheet I provided you guys at budget time. So we had budgeted $9,987.50 for safe room matches. So that's what I had proposed. Again, I don't know if that actually made it. Let's see.
I need glasses.
Well, my glasses need to be stronger. It's a 3, 9,937.50.
Okay.
Sorry about
Yes.
that.
Don't be sorry. Like I said, I need glasses.
I need a magnifying glass in there, so.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that that made it in the final budget. That's what I had proposed that you guys include. So we'll need to validate that those funds are available. I did validate with the city of St. Francis that their funds are available. And Bird City Century 2, I have a letter of commitment that they are willing to fund up to $20,000 for the Bird City project. So, any questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Sure, thank you.
Thanks, you too. Thanks, Ed.
There was one thing I forgot
Okay,
to bring
sorry.
up, the Moberly case that we had pending against us,
Yes.
where we have been sued, it's officially been dismissed. So that was filed late yesterday afternoon, so that case is off potential liabilities for the county at this
Okay.
point. And then I was just gonna give you guys a heads up, I have some county cases that I have to appear in court for at 10 a.m. So I'll be slipping out about a quarter till to head upstairs to start taking care of those.
Okay. Sounds good.
I don't know, I thought Amanda wanted a half an hour on hers.
Well, and I'm wondering if it would make more sense logically if Cody is before Amanda.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't, they didn't give any specifics, so they just said we want a half an hour.
Can we call a 5-minute executive session for legal? I had a question for you.
Sure.
Is that okay with you, Ed? All right, make a motion.
I'm going to go into executive session, we need to discuss.
The fairground deal. Illegal.
Legal.
Sorry. We're going in at basically 10:53.
You want me to bring it over closer to you?